Wholeness. Welcome to my channel. I'm Rashida Silvertree, and man, it feels like I haven't uploaded in such a while, but here we go. So, this is just a continuation of the forgiveness series that I'm on, and the topic that came to my heart and mind was, must we go through hell to get to heaven? Um, Recently, when I was just dilly-dallying online, I came across this film called A Dark Song. I don't have the name of the director or anything, but it's a film that was based in, I think it's a British-Irish film based in the UK. It's just a phenomenal story about this woman who has great resentment towards a group of people that took the life of her child through some kind of satanic ritual or something, these teenagers. And she lost a son because of it, and they weren't arrested. They weren't, the case just kind of fell flat. So she finds a master occultist who could help her to see her son again, if you will. And anyway, it's a very deep film that touches on the end of her, I guess it wasn't her salvation, but it was her true meaning for being there and for calling this man to do this huge ritual to get her to get in contact, and go through these not ridiculous but very challenging rituals and whatnot for days and weeks, and I think it was a couple months on end. But the the truth about her being there bubbled up, and she wanted solely revenge. She wanted revenge. And so in this, with doing all these very high frequency, very powerful practices, she began to manifest all that darkness that was within her, her hatred, her resentment, her bitterness, her sadness, her rage, began to manifest in the form of demons. We all carry angels and demons within ourselves. A lot of monotheistic religions like Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, they talk about how there's one angel on each side of you, especially in Islam, that are taking down every sin and every good deed and every bad deed that you commit in your entire life. And at the end of your life, these two entities meet side by side, and they weigh out if you can get into heaven or hell, right? Or if you're going to hell or heaven. And it's all kind of connected back to Kemetic, the Kemetic way, where at the end of life, you meet Horus. I think Horus is the Egyptian god that takes your heart. Excuse me if I'm incorrect, but the god of death. He takes your heart and he places your heart on a scale, and if it's lighter than a feather, then that's your entryway into heaven. And if it's heavier, if your heart is heavier than the feather, then you go to hell, right? And so with this woman, these demons manifest into this home because they go to this house, and the house, with all of this energy manipulation that they're doing through these rituals, it creates some kind of force field, and it manipulates the inner electromagnetic field of the home, of the house, of their bodies, of reality, very, very deep. And so these demons manifest and they begin to haunt her, right? And so towards the end of the film, I didn't get to watch the whole film. I watched a review, an analysis on the film. I most certainly will watch it. It's called A Dark Song. But towards the end of the film, her guardian angel, right? Her guardian angel manifests itself, and she meets her angel, her angelic self, and it's powerful. Oh my gosh. And the last, I'm not going to like spoil it, but the last thing that she asks for is the power to forgive. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a horror flick, but there are some elements of the film that are quite disturbing. But it deals with every single aspect of human suffering, every single thing, from lust to rage to pain to jealousy, to the human condition. But after watching that and rewatching some of the scenes, because I didn't watch the whole movie. I have a good gist of what the movie's about, the message of the story, the moral of the story. Why must we go through hell to get to heaven? And then it dawned on me that stories like this that mirror, or that come up, through esoteric or occultic movies or films or books, it really there's a connection to Dante's Inferno. Dante's Inferno is a human being, a man's journey, because at first he's in limbo between life and death, and so he meets Virgil, who is his guide, and Virgil takes him through the 9 circles of hell, the 9 realms of hell, and then he gets to the 9th ring of hell, the 9th realm of hell, the 9th dimension of hell, and then he makes it through all that, and then he goes through the 9 rings of heaven. And so it's almost like this continuum. I was speaking to my mentor about this. Why is it that there's this continuum of life, death, life cycle? Why is there this continuum of repetition of suffering? We all know of the wars that are taking place in certain areas of the world. I don't need to bring up specific countries or anything of that nature. I'm going to make videos on the topic of war very soon. But it just had me thinking and feeling like we go through, in order to know and to become and in order to realize what we truly are, we must go through all elements and illusions of separation, which is evil, right? Anything that sees itself separate from anything else, I would deem as evil. Anything that is part of the unification or wholeness is of God, is of love. Love is all things. Everything is together. But when we separate ourselves, when we become fragmented, we get lost in our experiences, like I've mentioned before in my previous video of, the power of forgiveness is the ability to, see the experience, but then release and relieve yourself from the experience that has hurt you or wounded you. Thus, you're relieving and releasing the person who has committed the act out of love. That is liberating. But when that's not taking place, and you have revenge, you have bitterness, you have resentment, these things begin to formulate into demons. A lot of the time we think that demons are outside of ourselves, that there are things that you need a mystical magical book and some candles and salt, and you that people who practice magic or witches and like they summon demons, and there is truth to that, which this video isn't about demonology, okay? They're very real, just like angels are very real, like the air we breathe, okay? A lot of us think that just because we can't see it, it doesn't exist. I'm so sorry. That is very ignorant. Very, very, very ignorant to assume that. Because, but I will say that, the journey through hell to get to heaven, and then we know, but then we can experience heaven and know heaven, but then we leave heaven yet again. Why? Why must there be this ascension, descension, ascension, descension? Is that not an illusion in itself? The journey, the thinking that we need to be and to get through something in order to be closer to God, in order to realize what we are? What if we stopped and actually realized we didn't need to go through hell to know heaven, and we don't need to leave heaven, to experience, or to experience hell, right? That sounds a bit backwards, but that's exactly what it is. We're constantly in flux. Why are we always constantly in flux? And I think it's such a personal experience, but it affects us as a collective so deeply. So that's just the question I'm posing. Why must we go through hell to know heaven? If, or maybe it's because we must create the space to know that we're heaven already. And that the hell that we experience, the hell that we tend to experience, is just the lack of liberation from our limitations. Hell is an illusion that we create for ourselves until we get tired, until we feel the pull of truth, pulling at us. And that breaks us, that breaks it. The Yahak in Sufism, that's one of the 99 names of Allah, is Yahak, the truth. We break through. The Yahak breaks something in us, and it frees us, it liberates us. So that's where I just wanted to release that question out there. Why must we go through hell to know heaven? Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to make more videos. See ya.